Hi folks, and welcome to Power Negotiating. Today we're going to be talking about attitude. And you're going to say, Reed, what type of attitude should I have when I'm going out and talking to someone? They're the ones that are in control, aren't they? No, not quite. Let me ask you a question. How many houses are for sale in your area? A whole bunch of them. How many buyers are there? Not quite as many. And so we have the old supply and demand equation that's working there. And when we have more people that want to sell than buyers that are trying to buy, guess what? We are the ones in control. You just don't realize it because you're intimidated by this. You're thinking, oh my goodness, we're talking about $200,000, $500,000, $1 million house. We're talking about a house, I can't afford that. There's no way that I can go ahead and get into that property. Well, you're right. There is no way that you can do it. But guess what? You're not buying the property. You're going to be doing this on lease option, and someone else is going to be making the payments. If someone else is making the payments, all you have to do is make sure that the market rent is such that you can go ahead and make the payments and the taxes and the insurance and have a little bit left over, and it's not your money. Does that make things a little bit easier? Let me tell you a little story. This one time we were doing hands-on real estate investments, and this was a real estate training that we were doing, and it was intensive real estate training. And basically we were working with these people week in and week out, just trying to get them to understand the basics of how to invest in real estate. And I took this one class with me, I think it was 6 people, out to look at this house. Let me tell you the situation. A man and his wife were getting divorced. He couldn't make the payments on his own salary to go ahead and cover all the house. And so he was getting farther and farther behind. And he was worried because he saw that if he couldn't make the payments, he was going to lose the house. And so he was nervous. He had about $10,000, $15,000 in equity. There wasn't enough room for him to get a realtor, go ahead and list the property, sell it, and make any money. So he was basically, he would give the property away if someone would take it. But guess what? He didn't know how. So he set up an appointment and asked him, by the way, do you mind if I bring my financial advisors with me? He said, I don't care. No, go ahead. And so I came over and I had 2 cars, my car, and I had 4 people in there, and I had another vehicle with another couple people. And I got out of the car, I turned to my people and I said, okay, here's the situation. Keep your mouth shut, don't say a thing. Don't say a word. Look to me as if I know all the answers, because guess what? I do. Went ahead and knocked on the door. And your attitude conveys everything. Your attitude should be, I've been here before. I've done it before. I can do it again. This isn't my first rodeo. And so when I went in there, I knocked on the door. He opened and I said, hi, my name is Reed. We talked on the phone. Here's my financial advisors. Come in, guys. And I said, show me the house, please. And I told him what to do. And we went through the house. And I went ahead and I stopped in each room and I said, guys, come in here. Let's take a look. Do you see anything wrong with this room? Okay, next. And I walked them through. And I was the one in control. It was his house, but I was leading the parade. And we got done and I said, you know, I'm going to have to talk with my financial partner about this. Things look good, but just want to make sure that we went ahead and took a look at the house. Any questions, everybody? Okay, let's go. And we were out of there in 15 minutes. And the poor seller was just beside himself begging me to take the keys. Please, take my house, take my house. At least that's what he was saying with his body language. And we walked through there in about 5 minutes and we're out of there. And all of the guys that were with me said, you didn't negotiate at all? I said, yeah, I did. He was willing to do whatever we were willing to offer. I found out a situation before. I just wanted to make sure the house was worth our time. Okay, it's not a great house. It's 3 bedroom, 1 bath, huge basement, and there's not a whole lot of equity. What's there to interest me? It's going to have positive cash flow just barely. There's not a whole lot of equity. It's his problem. The only way that I can make this work is by doing a lease option and putting a tenant buyer in there that will buy the property for what it will be worth 2 years from now and getting a little bit of non-refundable option fee up front. That's the only way it makes sense. It's not a big deal. It's an okay deal if I find the right tenant buyer. If I don't find the right tenant buyer, it's a bad deal. So the attitude that I had was entirely, it is my decision as to whether this house makes sense. I know how to work this, you don't. I'm the professional, you aren't. I can make your problem go away. If you want me to, I can do this. Don't give me a whole lot of back talk. And that's your attitude. Now, I'm listening, I'm finding out what a situation is. I am doing all that beforehand on the phone. When I go out there to actually meet him, I don't want to be bored and superior, but almost bored, and I know that what I bring to the table. There was this one movie, Get Shorty, with John Travolta and Danny DeVito. And in this one scene, John Travolta is playing a gangster, and this other gangster says to him, "You act like you bring something big to the table. What do you bring?" And John Travolta says, "Yeah, I do. Me." That's your attitude. You bring something big to the table. You bring your knowledge. You bring a solution to the problem. And that's what everybody has. They have a problem. You have the solution. Which one has more value? And when you have that attitude, you can do miraculous things.